Hey friends, and welcome back. So guys, I am here to share with you our budget reconciliation for October. Now hopping right into this, I actually recorded this video overhead. However, I have no clue what happened to the audio. Like there's just no audio. I don't know what I did or what I didn't do, etc. So instead, we are just going to do this vlog style, and then I'll also just kind of walk over what it is exactly that I do at the end of each and every month. So let's hop into it. Now, first and foremost, for anyone that may be new here, hi and welcome. Just to let you know, we are a family of 6, 7 when you include Lola Pug. It is myself, my hubby, and we have 4 kiddos. At the recording of this video, their ages are 17, 14, 11, and 7. We do follow the financial principles of Dave Ramsey slightly. We do, as I always say, personal finance is just that, personal. So we have taken his principles and applied them to the way that we budget, but also just doing what works for us and what our financial goals are. I am no way at all saying that his system does not work, or his system isn't a one size fit all, etc., etc. I'm not saying that at all. I'm pretty sure that if we would have followed his system step by step by step, we would be so much further along in our financial journey, so on and so forth. The bottom line is personal finance is just that, personal. And for us, there's a lot of more layers into finance than just the numbers. It's really mostly head knowledge and emotions that drives our actions when it comes to money. I guess that's the best way I can put it. So anyways, long story short, we do follow his financial principles. However, we did not do his steps in order, and we do things that works for us and our goals, so on and so forth. So personal finance is just that, personal. Moving on. Okay, so also we do not share the actual income that we make. The hubby is not 100% on board with that aspect. The numbers that you see as far as our expenses, what our mortgage is, what our utility bills are, what we spend on groceries and all that is accurate numbers. Actual numbers is actual. However, we just don't show the actual income. Side note, I am going to be sharing side hustle income that I bring in, as well as side hustle income that the hubby bring in. But our W-2 income, which is the hubby's W-2 income, is strictly off the table, if that makes sense. Now, we are consider a one income family by standards, I guess, and I say standards, by standards, I guess. However, we do have other sources of income that we bring in each month, which is our side hustle income. So enough yapping, let's hop right on into it. So for the month of October, our total expenses for as bills was concerned was going to be $2,229.38. That is all of our household expenses. That is mortgage, utility costs, kids dental that we have. It's all of those type of expenses. Then on our weekly cash envelope, these are the expenses that we spend in cash, which is our groceries, our auto gas, pet care, personal money, blow money, all that kind of stuff. That is $2,919. Then our sink funds. Sink funds is just basically a way of saying savings. These are categories that we are saving for because we know these expenses are coming up in the near future. So our sink funds for this month or for the month of October, were auto insurance, Lola's insurance, the HOA, tax software, and Amazon Prime. That was a total of $525. And then as far as debt is concerned, we have one debt that we are still working through, which is the husband's student loans. And my goal was to put at least $1,300 towards that debt this month. And we actually surpassed that, so I'm excited about that. And that was surpassed because I kind of sort of forgot about income that I was going to be receiving from keeping a former client. So side note, if you are new here, I am licensed for home daycare, and I still do daycare, but on a part-time basis. And I kept a family child over a weekend span when they went out of town. So anyways, I forgot to include that income at the top of the month, but I did include it towards the end when I received the income. So grand totals. Again, bills, we were looking at $2,229.38. We ended up at $2,193.83. So under budget there. Weekly envelopes, we budgeted $2,919, and we ended up with $2,199.97. So under budget there as well. Our sync funds was $525, and that was exactly how much we put in there. Plus, I did end up putting $200 towards my son's sync fund for his senior year of high school. And then for debt, instead of $1,300, we actually ended up putting in $2,000 towards debt. So that is awesome. All right, so let me just explain the process of what I do once everything is completed on the bill log. And to let you guys know too, it makes it super easy because I do budget out per paycheck, and you guys have seen my little notebook here. I started utilizing this notebook with writing all of the cash expenses and paycheck to paycheck budget down in here. That way when I come to share with you guys in video format, it's just a little bit easier to share with you guys. Otherwise, I would have just did it on my bill log, and then I used scrap pieces of paper throughout the month when I'm budgeting, just to keep a track of each paycheck and what was paid and all that stuff there. So nonetheless, because I have everything written down in this notebook, it makes it super easy to come back at the end of the month and reconcile all the categories. So tip for you there, write out everything and reconcile your paychecks per paycheck. So after you get paid and you paid your bills, took out cash for your expenses, go ahead and reconcile that paycheck. So once I have the bill log completely filled out, I would then go ahead and pull my expense tracker out of the bill binder. Now, I like to use the expense tracker to keep track of certain bills throughout the year, such as our utility bills, insurance, and things like that. At a glance, I'm able to see if these services increase and what time throughout the year do they typically increase. So for instance, when it comes to a light bill, I know automatically that come July and August, I end up with a really high light bill, just because it is the summertime and it's hot. So the light bill is a whole lot more expensive during those months. So tracking these expenses just allows me to see at a glance if anything is increasing, and then what time of the year do they typically increase, so that I can budget accordingly. Same to be said that what I find with tracking these expenses also is that it gives me a total at the end of the year of what we need to live the lifestyle that we live. So for instance, with cable bill, cell phone bill, those bills there, they tend to go up if you're on a contract and your contract ends, or those services just go up in general. It lets me see at a glance how much it costs us for those type of expenses. So for example, if we were to get a job, and let's say that job was going to pay us $50,000 before taxes. So once taxes are applied, we may be looking at maybe $41,000 a year. Let's just say, for example. Well, if our lifestyle costs us $60,000, then we know we cannot in reality accept a $50,000 a year job. If we did, then we know at that point we either need to cut lifestyle, or we need to figure out a way to bring in additional income. So again, just having this expense tracker sheet just let me kind of see that at a whole, what our lifestyle is, how much it costs us to live, basically, so on and so forth. So that's that. So again, once all that is done, I go ahead and update the tracker. I will then go ahead and pull all bill statements for that month out of the binder, as well as any receipts I kept for tax purposes. Now, I do keep receipts because of the daycare business, and then the other businesses that I run too, I get to write off certain expenses, so I do keep those receipts as well. So I pull all of that out of the binder, stick it behind my bill log, and typically in this one setting, I will go ahead and finish out closing out my books, and I will go ahead and scan all this into the software that I use. Now, I use a Neat Desk scanner, and I just scan everything in. Having everything scanned in eliminates me having to keep a hold of the paper. And if you guys have ever been audited by the IRS, then you definitely know you want to have access to your records as quick as possible. So scanning everything in makes it a whole lot easier for me. Now, you might be sitting there saying to yourself, Michelle, you be doing too much. I don't. I don't. When I worked in corporate America, I picked up these type of routines, I guess, and tactics, because I worked in finance and they worked with the accounting department a lot before I started staying home and running my own business. So anyways, a lot of what you would do in a corporate setting, I feel like you should still do in your personal finance setting. Run your home and run your finances no different than you would a Fortune 500 company. Simple as that. Keep everything on track. Be organized as much as possible. Be as detailed as possible, and just stay organized. So I always say, as long as you have a system in place, work your system, whatever that is for you. So even if I don't have time in this one setting to go ahead and scan everything in, I have everything in a little pile stacked behind my bill log. I would just set it to the side, and as soon as I have a free moment, I would go ahead and scan all that stuff into my software system. Again, I have a system and I work it, and I try to stay on top of it so that I don't get behind. Now, there has definitely been times in life where I have gotten behind, and I have paid the price for that, because that within itself is very time consuming to sit there, go through piles and piles of months that you have to scan in and all that stuff there. But long story short, if you have a system, work your system and you'll be fine. So that is what I do in a nutshell to get everything in order and organized. So with that being said, long story short, the month of October is officially closed. I like to consider it as closing out the books, the same as I did when I worked in corporate America, making sure that all of my bills came out of the checking account. Any checks that I may have written has been cashed. Any deposits that we were expecting have been received. Just closing out the books and making sure everything went A-okay with October, because if it did not, then it will definitely affect November, so on and so forth. So I sure hope all my crazy made sense to you guys. As always, guys, thank you so very much for watching. Oh, one final note to make is that we do a zero-based budget, and what that means is basically every dollar has an assignment. We do not end the month with $0 in our checking account. We actually do keep a buffer in the checking account, but for all the income that was received for that month, it becomes a zero, because every dollar has been accounted for, whether it went towards utilities, mortgage, auto insurance, life insurance, pet care, our groceries, auto gas, etc. Whatever it went to, every dollar had an assignment. There's no money just sitting there with nowhere to go, if that makes sense. Every dollar has a job. That is the basis of a zero-based budget. That way, money doesn't just fly out of your hand and gets lost pretty much, because you got $20 here, you got $30 there, etc., etc. You just end up sliding your cord or spending the cash in hand because you did not give it an assignment. I have definitely found that even by taking a sticky note, just a sticky note, and writing down on it what this $100 bill is for, what this $20 bill is for, it will keep me from splurging when I'm in the store, from saying, oh, I have $20 in my pocket, I can go ahead and spend it on $20 worth of stickers. I always use stickers as an example, guys, because I'm kind of obsessed with planner stickers, although I am a total functional planner and I don't use stickers as much. Crazy thing. But anyways, moving on. Having your money assigned to a certain category definitely helps to keep you on budget. So that's a tip for you there if you're having trouble with staying on budget or figuring out where all those little dollars are just disappearing to. Give every dollar a assignment to the T as much as possible. So with all of that being said, thank you so very much for watching. Definitely be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not done so already. And definitely let me know, guys, how did the month of October shape up for you? And how is November shaping up so far? And until then, guys, bye.